Hi guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a bins haul. And guys, I need you to brace yourself because this is the best haul I have ever had, ever. This was just one of those days that you dream about. I cannot wait to show you everything, walk you through everything. There's some like incredible pieces. There's some very important vintage pieces. There's some great Bolo brands in here. Like it's just everything. Anything you've ever wanted out of a bins trip happened in this bins trip. So I am so excited to dive in with you guys. But before we get started, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia, that is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. With all that said, guys, we've got a lot to talk about. I think I've got about 40 pieces here. I am so excited to dive in with you guys. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. Hi guys, before we get into this absolutely insane haul, I want to take a quick minute to thank Vendoo for sponsoring this video. Vendoo has legitimately been the absolute cornerstone of my toolkit since basically day one. And over that time, they've consistently added more and more features that have made my life and my job so much easier. You probably already know all about their robust cross-listing features, allowing you to cross-list and manage your inventory over multiple platforms like Poshmark and eBay and Depop and Mercari and whatnot and Shopify and Etsy and Vinted and Grailed. But they've recently been adding more and more features that help me automate more of my work between their bulk offers, their auto offers, and their newest feature, marketplace sharing. So we know that one of the best levers that we have available to us to keep our listings on the top of search results is in Poshmark sharing our listings to our followers, and in Depop refreshing our listings, and Grailed bumping our listings. And with Vendoo's new marketplace sharing feature, you can automate all of that. You can set it up to share, refresh, and bump your listings multiple times a day without you even having to lift a finger. Let me show you how easy this is. So we come right here to Pro Tools. This is where you can set up your bulk offers, your auto offers, and now your marketplace sharing. So let's set up Poshmark. So you can select your entire closet. You can select your sharing order. I like to do random. You can set up your sharing speed. I'll go normal here. And that's it. You just click schedule. You pick what time you want to do it, and you can set this up multiple times a day. So let's say I want to do 7 a.m. You can select every day. It'll repeat this schedule, and that's it. I can set this up to share several times a day on all of my different platforms, completely automating that task for me. Officially, I pretty much run my entire business out of Vendoo. So if you want to give Vendoo a try and you want to make your reselling journey a lot easier, click the link down in the description box below and get 25% off of your first month. I've said it before and I'll say it again, you will wonder why you haven't done this sooner. Now, back to the haul. So we're gonna start here with two pairs of shoes. I generally don't spend a ton of time at the shoes for whatever reason. First of all, they're bulky and I just have limited storage space. But every once in a blue moon, I poke in there and I find some good stuff. And these are two good things and good things to talk about. The first thing that I found here was this pair of Ultra sneakers. These are called the Solstice XT. These are, I think, technically cross-training shoes. They don't necessarily have, they don't have the drop or the curvature of running shoes. But the whole thing about Ultra shoes, and this is just a heads up if you've never heard of them, but maybe you're looking for something like this, they are called foot-shaped toe boxes. So if you can kind of see, that's a really wide toe box. So if you're somebody with wider feet and you struggle with sneakers, check out Ultras. You will probably love them. Anyway, these are pretty expensive. You usually see these at specialty running stores and kind of higher end sports stores. They're kind of in the same realm as a Hoka in terms of specialty. And these in particular, I think are their lowest end shoes. They retail $138, but on the resale market, I should see between $40 and $50 or $60 on these. If they were brand new, they would probably go more $60 or $70. But yeah, this was a really good find. To find a pair of Ultras in basically brand new condition is a real treat. But yeah, if you are somebody with wide feet or struggle with sneakers, these might be your new favorite. The next pair of shoes that I grabbed, and I got these because they're comfort shoes. And comfort shoes are something I want you to keep your eyes out for. I did not know this brand at all, but what I could see was that this was real leather. It's like a pewter color leather. And then you look at that interior sole, like that just looks like something that is made to be kind of orthopedic. The brand on these is Arco Pedico Healthy Footwear. So like these kind of shoes tend to be sold at like specialty stores that are like, that specialize in these kind of like comfort shoes. And they tend to be pretty expensive, well made, you know, using like quality materials. You will not find much plastic in shoes like this. This is like Clark's, Dansko's, Bourne's, Merrell's. There's a lot of kind of more mainstream companies that kind of operate in this space. The ones that tend to fetch the best on the resale market tend to be like the real kind of specialty type shoes like this. So these, I want to say, sold for about $200, and on the resale market they're going like $60 to $80. Definitely something cool. Let me know if you're familiar with this brand, if this is a brand that you love. But again, like brand new condition. There's like no wear on these soles at all, like no creasing on the front of this. Cute little like pewter Mary Janes. But yeah, let me know if you're familiar, and if not, keep these kind of like comfort style shoes like on your radar. These tend to be, believe it or not, these kind of shoes tend to be my fastest selling shoes if and when I do pick them up. Now into the clothes. So we're gonna start with a bang and like end with a cataclysm. That's how today's gonna go. So the first piece I have here, oh my God, just like my little fashion heart is so happy. So I picked this dress up because the embellishment on it is so unusual. These are like full-on metal. This isn't like foil covered leather. These are like brass. They're kind of heavy. And the designer on this is Patrick Kelly. Now, in a billion years of thrifting, if I could pick out the high-end designer that I thought I would never find, Patrick Kelly is one of them. He was somebody who designed in the 80s. He was the first, if memory serves me right, he was the first Black designer inducted into like the French, like the governing body of fashion in France, which is a big deal. He was active like in the mid to late 80s, and he passed away in like 1990 or 1991, which is a real tragic loss. And he designed with this kind of like over the top embellishment. Like this was kind of his calling card. And this dress is in like perfect condition. And the other tag on here says Eamon Wardy, which is kind of interesting because if memory serves me right, this is a shop that I remember seeing in like Aspen. It was like a high-end kind of designer shop. So I'm guessing that this is where it's sold. I mean, I guess it was around back in the 80s because again, he's been gone since 1990, 1991. But this dress is in like perfect condition. And it's just like a black bodycon, kind of like knee-length dress. There's no size tag on it. There's no materials tag in it. Eyeballing it, it's probably a size like medium, if not a size large. I'll have to get measurements on it. But like in any other haul that I have, this would be the thing that I was the most excited about. So like, I just need you to like set your expectations at that level right now. This is so exciting for me. Like just my little weird niche fashion nerd heart is like so excited to even have one of these pass through my hands. They're quite rare and they're very, very much in demand. Retail, this probably ran somewhere like $1,000 to $1,500 retail back in like the 80s, right? So like put that into context. And today on the resale market, pieces like this can go anywhere between like $200 and $600-700. So somewhere in that mix is what I'll hope to get. I'm gonna do as much research on this as possible. I wanna make sure that I represent this as well as possible. But guys, I'm just, I'm so excited. And again, just get that name into your head. Please let me know if you have ever found a piece by him before. Like I said, in a million years, if you had asked me the least likely designer that I would ever find, it's Patrick Kelly. And if you are at all into fashion and you've never heard of him, I urge you to go and look him up and read a little bit about his life, because he was an interesting guy and did some very big and very interesting things for his short life. So, whew. Next up, I got this super cool little Ralph Lauren, this like vintage Ralph Lauren sweater. I mean, to go right with the nautical thing that's happening this summer, this is a 100% cotton Breton stripe turtleneck. So this is like a lightweight knit, right? Let me get you up close on that texture there. Full on turtleneck. It's got the little crest there, made in Hong Kong. So that should help date it a little bit. I'm gonna guess this is probably like late 80s. And it's in like flawless condition. These have a pretty high resale value. I should see somewhere 40 to 50, maybe a little bit higher on this. It's so quintessentially Ralph Lauren. It's so like quintessentially old money preppy, you know, and I'm gonna use keywords like old money, aesthetic, quiet luxury, also like prep school, Ivy League, preppy, nautical, Breton stripe, all those kind of keywords for something like this. This will probably go in no time flat. Next up, this is a little pair of Lululemon shorts. This is like their woven black shorts. And just like pro tip, this has like some stuff on it that I'm just gonna like put this immediately in the wash pile. And just like a pro tip, if you are looking for a pair of like good shorts, they're woven shorts that are like not their like hottie hot shorts with like the liners intact. They are, in my opinion, like the perfect shorts because they are tech fabric. These I think are a couple years old. I got my pairs last year. I got a black pair and a white pair, and they look dressy, but they are a tech fabric. They have an elastic waist. They have good deep pockets. They're just, you know, they're like long enough. It's not like a 2-inch inseam, like nobody needs to see that much of my leg ever. And they are pricey, but they are worth the money, and they travel really well. They don't crease. Like you can wear them 6 days in a row and they look like crisp and like fresh out of the wash every day. So if you are in the market for something like that, it's just like a personal recommendation. I'll see if they still sell the ones that I had last year, and I'll link them down below. If they have something similar, I'll link those as well. If they don't carry them anymore, I'll see if I can find the name and put it down below so you can look for them on the secondhand market. Anyway, something like this, I'll probably get like 35 bucks for, and no doubt this will go really, really quickly. These kind of like Lululemon lifestyle pieces sell really, really, really well. Next up, now this I saw from kind of afar. Like this was something that I saw when they rolled out a new bin and I grabbed it. So this is a dress, which is like, this is like the definition of like a Lagenlook style dress. It is midi length. There's some pics on it, but the funny thing is this is so like loosely woven that like when you kind of do this to it, right? Like you kind of like manipulate the fabric a little bit, all the picks like come back into place. Like it's not tightly woven anywhere, so it's not gonna stay with picks, but this is from flax. And flax, if you can find the flax with this label, it tends to be a little bit more valuable. Like I would probably see somewhere between $50 and $75 on this. It is like cut in the cloth, almost like burlappy feeling, Lagenlook style midi dress. Like get up close on that fabric. It's so interesting. Like I saw it from afar and I'm like, what is that? And I just grabbed it. I got it back and I was like looking at it. I was so excited when I figured out what it was. This was one of those like grab it first and ask questions later kind of a piece. Like this kind of fabric is always going to catch my eye, but that brand has a really great sell through, really, really devout followers. And when you have the name on that tag, because there was like a whole messy business with the brand. Like I think she lost the brand in a divorce, and her ex-husband continued making things under the same label, but the quality is not quite as nice as it was when she was involved. But even still, those pieces still sell quite well, but the ones from her are the ones that are most in demand. Such a cool find. Next up here, this is a little bread and butter style piece. This is from Calvin Klein. And this is just a navy blue little V-neck fit and flare dress with the belt. These kind of dresses, these like very clean classic cocktail dresses, I've picked up a few from Calvin Klein and they sell really well. This was something that like I didn't touch for a very long time until I sold off one of my old dresses. Like I had a black cocktail dress from Calvin Klein that I had bought, I don't know, years ago. I think I wore it to like 6 weddings. Like it was just, you know, my go-to little black dress, and it didn't fit me anymore. So I sold it and it ended up selling for like $50. I'm like, okay, so maybe I'll start picking these things up. Let me know how you do with Calvin Klein kind of special occasion wear. Do you do better with special occasion wear? Do you do better with like the career wear? Kind of where do you guys stand on Calvin Klein stuff? Let's see if we can get ourselves a consensus on this kind of stuff. But either way, it's a size 14 in like flawless condition. I'll see somewhere between probably $30 and $50 on it. And no doubt fairly soon, it's just like a great basic, perfect little cocktail dress. Next up here, we've got a little piece. This is from Free People. And this is something I picked up because I felt the knit on it. This is like a cotton wool knit, super lightweight, and this kind of like brilliant celery green. Like I always struggle with these like shades of light green, but this is kind of like a celery. And it's this oversized, slightly cropped sweater. You can kind of see where the, like a little bit of a shark bite hem there, but it hangs, you know, like it's like an exaggerated dolman sleeve sweater. This is a size large. It's in flawless condition. It's got this cute little twisted collar, the classic like twisted seam on the back. I'll probably see somewhere like 30 to 35 on this. No doubt it'll go pretty quickly. This is like a summer sweater. This will probably go pretty soon as people start to get a little bit of a tan. You know, this is that color that looks great on a tan. Next up, now I don't pick up too many jeans, but when I see this embroidery, I am interested. And if you are unfamiliar with that embroidery on the back pockets there, that says Mumu. So this is Show Me Your Mumu. And Show Me Your Mumu denim does really well for me. These are like very high rise, a little bit distressing on the knee, but the cuff is what was really interesting to me. The cuff, and it has like a slit on the inside ankle. They're size, I think 28. Yeah, they're size 28 and they're called the Brooklyn High Waist, and sold comps on these are between like $40 and $80. So I'll do a little bit more research on like, you know, which sizes are more in demand, whatever, but I'm always gonna be interested when I see Show Me Your Mumu jeans. There's not a lot of them out there, but I'll put it this way, like the last piece of Show Me Your Mumu denim was this white jumpsuit that I got, and it sold in like 2 days for over $100. So keep your eyes out for it. Even if you're in a regular thrift store or you're in a place where you're paying up for these pieces, grab it, put it in your cart, run a comp on it, because it's a very good chance that it could be a pretty good sale for you. Okay, next up, we've got a nice little We The Free t-shirt. I love these basic We The Free t-shirts. I talk about them all the time. For whatever reason, the basics from We The Free specifically sell really well for me. Like I put a price of $32 on these, and I cannot tell you how many of these have sold for full price, right? Like typically I'll get somewhere between like 20 to 30 on them, usually somewhere around like 25, but I've had a lot pop off at full price at 32. So even if you're in a thrift store where it's like $3 for something like this, like I would still be grabbing these, right? Like they sell really well and they have a really high demand. I love these sleeves. And yeah, they never stay long in my closet. And usually I find these, they're like a small or an extra small. And of course, they're always like very oversized. This one is a size medium, so that's always a good find. But yeah, I'll pick these up anytime I see them. So this next one was kind of like a guess, like it just felt really nice. I didn't really do much comping on it, just like a lot of the way that this was made tells me that it's like, this is just very, very well made. Like look at the inside of that collar there. So anyway, the brand here is Carbon to Cobalt, and I'm really interested to hear if this is a brand that you guys buy and sell. Is it something you keep your eyes out for? Is it something that you wear personally? Is it something that you don't pick up at all? Sold comps on it look to be pretty average, between like $20 and $30, but it just felt really nicely made, and I do like selling really nicely made kind of loungewear type stuff. There's like an interesting thing about this, right? This is like a double knit jersey, which is unusual because typically when you see a double knit jersey, it's going to be for something like a tech fabric. Actually, let me go grab one. This is a Uniqlo shirt that I picked up for a friend who loves these, and I got 2 of them at the bins. Anyway, so this is double knit, and this is typically how you see double knit used today. So on the outside, you have this Pima cotton, just looks like a regular t-shirt. And on the inside, you can see it's this polyester kind of more tech fabric. And what that does, because polyester, like by its nature, is hydrophobic, it's plastic. So like it doesn't absorb moisture. What it does is it moves moisture. So right, if it's got moisture pushing against it from the skin, from the back side, it's gonna push it to come out and it's gonna keep it basically away from your skin. That's what wicking fabric actually is. So anyway, this is how you typically see double knit fabric in use today, right? This is like a really good example because you can like physically see it. This is double knit with just cotton on both sides, and you can actually kind of see the construction of it. So typically what they do is they put these 2 layers of fabric, like they literally start as 2 thinner pieces of fabric, and then they kind of like weave them in together. So you can kind of see where that's coming apart right here on the raw edge. Kind of interesting. Anyway, I've very rarely seen like double knit, just cotton and cotton, but here we are. So let me know your experience with it. I anticipate I'll probably get somewhere 20 to 30 bucks on this, but so nice. Next up, I mean, yes, this is blue metallic leather that you are seeing coming into frame. Ba-bam! This, I am so sorry if I just blew out your eardrums, but like, does this jacket warrant that or not? This is obviously 80s. This is metallic blue leather in like perfect condition. So it is like studded with rhinestones, shoulder pads to the gods. It's a slightly long fit. The designer on this, and if you are into funky like vintage leather, you need to know this name, because when I searched this name, like the other leather jackets that this designer has made are like, they're insane. The name on this is Julian K. It's made in Israel. So get a load of that label there, but seriously, like if you're into like funky leather pieces, check their stuff out. Unbelievable. In like beautiful condition. And I mean, like the color looks almost like it's black and shiny on camera. Like I wish you could see how amazingly navy blue metallic this is in real life. It's so fabulous. I think I will probably get somewhere close to $100 on this. Maybe a little bit more. Like some of their pieces have sold for like $200-300, but like, I can't. It's so, like, I wish this fit me. I wish. Like, this is the kind of thing that I so badly want to know the story of the previous owner. Like, I so badly want to know who that person was and what they were all about, because they were obviously fabulous. Next up, I found this beautiful dress. This is from Maggie London. You know, it's sold in like Nordstrom, and in their family of brands, it's like London Times, Maggie London. There's a couple, I think like there's like another brand in there that has like the name Lux in the brand name, and Maggie London is pretty much the highest end. This is a beautiful like eggplant purple silk dress with this beautiful gold sequin detail at the neck and the waist. It's got this nice surplice neck. This is like a good wedding guest dress. It's a good mother of the bride dress, a good cocktail dress, beautiful color and in beautiful condition. It's a size 16 women's, and I have no doubt that this will go very quickly. It looks like, I was actually kind of surprised. I picked this up because I see a lot of Maggie London and I don't pick it up, but this was silk, and just like the condition and the size and what it was, I definitely grabbed it more as like a style pickup. But it looks like a lot of their dresses kind of in this same vein go like $40 to $50. So we'll find out on this. Let me know if you have experience selling this brand, because like this will be the first piece that I've had kind of in my closet. So I'm interested to see how it goes. But if you guys have experience selling it, if it's a brand that you keep your eyes out for, or if it's something that you only pick up in like plus sizes, let me know. Like I'm interested. Let's share the knowledge, right? Next up, this is a Madewell piece. And again, I've gotten pretty selective with what I pick up from Madewell. And it's funny, like in any given day, I probably see a good like 50 to 100 Madewell pieces. I maybe pick up one, but I definitely had to get this one. So this is a jumpsuit. It's this beautiful burgundy, and it's got these like jacquard stars. If you can see the detail there. But the main reason that I love this, because I'm seeing so many jumpsuits now that are like kind of jogger leg, and I feel like that's on its way out, at least in this kind of application. But this has like a nice wide leg. This is easily something that could go for like a special occasion. This could easily be worn for like a cocktail event. And it's got like a little tie there at the neckline, so you can leave that open and let it be a very like low V neckline, or you can tie it pretty tight and close that up. And then the back is open with two ties across the back. It's really nice. Size large. It looks like sold comps on these are going between like $30 and $50. So not too shabby. And I just think it's really cute. And in basically flawless condition. I'm assuming that that was worn once. Like that is definitely not like a regular wear kind of a garment, you know? Oh, this was a pretty top. So this is a little camisole tank top. And this is from Calvin Rucker, another very, very high-end designer. This is kind of like almost like a halter style neckline. I like that it's got like that raw edge there, and it's mirrored on the back. It's got adjustable straps. It's like a trapeze silhouette, and it's got like double layer, full layer of silk chiffon. It's really, really nice, really flowy. Size large. And this probably retailed about $300. Now, Calvin Rucker's a pretty small brand. I think he's more well known for denim than he is for like fashion wear. But this will probably get somewhere between like $30 and $40 on the resale market. But I just think that's really lovely. I mean, give me a silk tank top. Like I cannot leave this behind. Next up, we've got another We the Free little white t-shirt. I found these really close together, so I'm assuming they were from the same closet. This one is kind of a boxy silhouette, slightly cropped with a little bit of a lettuce edge trim down there. It's not like true lettuce edge, but it's got a little baby lettuce edge and it's double layer, which is kind of cool. The thing that I like about this top the most is the cuffs. So the cuffs are kind of like a tall split. They have these brass buttons, but I think they're meant to be worn like open, almost like a bell. So they'll kind of sit like a bell in the front, and on the back they'll be open like this. I kind of love that. Again, these do so well for me. I'll probably see somewhere between 20 and 30 if it doesn't pop through at a full price sale. So many of these, but I'll pick them up anytime I see them until further notice. You know what I'm saying? Next up, okay. So this was one that I picked up because it was just beautiful and the craftsmanship on it was stunning. Had no idea what the brand was and my eyes nearly popped out of my head when I got it home. So this is a stunning kaftan, and that's beautiful, like, I think this is silk woven ribbon, like it feels like silk. It is floor length, very voluminous there at the bottom. I don't know if you're getting exactly how much fabric that is, but it's all the way to the ground, so flowy. But let me get you up and close to this embellishment on the front. So I'm gonna start this off by saying that this is handmade, hand embroidered, made in Greece. And the brand on this is Dosa. So never heard of it before, but my God, just stunning. Let me get you in close here. Look at this embroidery. Like the thing that struck me the most is this piece right here. Like that is just kind of like embroidery floss that's gone across, but the way that they manipulated it with the thread to make it look like it's wavy, I mean, like, this is the stuff that like makes my heart go pitter pat, but absolutely stunning. This is wool, like all this fringe trim is wool. This is definitely wool. We got some like gold threads. This is like masterwork, right? This is absolutely stunning. And the retail price on this was like 600 euros. So that's exciting. I mean, this is about as luxe a kaftan as you can get without it being silk, you know, without it being like a poochie, you know, which would be like in the thousands of dollars. So stunning, size medium. Now there's not a lot on the resale market from this designer. Again, I think this is like a small Greek designer. And the other pieces that I found have sold in the $200 to $300 range. So one was like a denim vest that was heavily embroidered in the same way. And there was another one that I found that was like a silk kaftan. Those both went in the $300 range. So I'll anticipate landing kind of in that arena. I'm interested to see how fast this moves. It is very much like resort wear, and I will tag it resort wear, resort space wear, vacation, poolside, beach dress, kaftan with a C, kaftan with a K. I'll be sure to use all of those tags. I'll try to make sure that this gets into one of my ship with me's, if not in like long form, then in short form, where I can kind of report back on how long this guy took, because I'm really interested. My God, it's beautiful. Next up, this cute little vintage Free People piece. I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't touch older Free People, but it sells really well for me. This is like Y2K era. I love the blue and green print. I mean, these are like my favorite colors together. It's just got this really pretty like crisscross detail on the bust. It is a size extra small, and there's the label. I'm gonna guess this is probably like 2005 or so. So right on that cusp between Y2K and like the naughty oddies. I'm hoping that that becomes like the name of that era because I love it. Anyway, something like this I'll probably get somewhere $30 to $35 on. That's about what I get on these vintage Free People pieces. And this is in like fantastic condition. Next up, this is a little piece from Wilfred, which is one of the Aritzia brands. And this just has everything about it that is happening right now. So it's this beautiful, like light powder pink, shell pink, petal pink. And it's this cute midi length skirt with a button down front here. Oh, it's size 6. And it's in great condition. There are some of these that have resold at like $60. I think that those were new with tags, but for the most part, they're selling between like $30 and $40. Wilfred's one of those brands that sells really well for me. So always excited to find something like this. But this just has like, it's preppy, it's kind of coquettish with the color. It's got the old money look. It's got the quiet luxury look. It's like soft and romantic and all those kind of keywords, girly, girl era. I think this is gonna be a very girly summer, and I think that this is gonna fit right in with it. Man, that looks so much whiter on camera than it does in my hands. Next up, another insane piece that I picked up because it was just so beautiful. So this is like a lightweight cotton tunic, and the cotton on this felt so incredible. It's like a light peachy pink color, and just everything about it felt really, really high end. And it's just one of those things that like, if you will know, like if you have a feel for quality at all, like you will pick this up and you'll be like, oh, this feels different from things from like Macy's that are made similarly. The brand on this is Dosa, and I want you to remember this tag. It's definitely sold in like high-end boutiques, similar to the kind of boutiques that you'll go and you'll find like a Jarbo or like an Ulla Johnson, right? So it's kind of in that range. This retailed like $500. So it's like tunic length, very relaxed fit. It's this stunning cotton, but just unbelievable. Resold comps from this brand are between like $80 and $150. Another incredible, exciting brand, and a new bolo for me. I don't know if this is a new bolo for you, but if you've ever found anything from Dosa, put it in the comments. If this is a brand that you've looked out for yourself, like let me know. I'm so interested. But it's like one of those size 1, 2, 3, 4 companies. So this is a size 4, which I believe is a size large. Unbelievable though, in like flawless condition. All right, next up. Now this is a vintage piece that I just thought was so cute. I don't know if the designer was anybody big. I think this was somebody that was sold in like Macy's, but what this felt so special. So this is a dress from a designer called Robbie B Petites. And the reason I love this is because it's all silk. This is double layer, 100% silk outer, silk inner. And it's this pretty like snake print. It's this cute button front shirt dress style. And then it's got these ties that'll cinch it in the back or in the front, depending on how you want to wear it. It's midi length. It is a petite's size, but lengthwise, I think that this would fit just fine on like a standard size body. But this to me feels so like classic 90s. This feels like it could have come straight off of the set for like a TV show or something straight out of the 90s. Very, very cute. I think I'll probably see somewhere about $40 on this. I think that there are any number of like fashion girls out there that would love something like this. I mean, it's 100% silk and 100% silk lined. Like that is rare. Like that's rare for even high-end design. So just like wearing this is such a nice experience. And I mean, again, I think it was just like a regular like Macy's brand, but so cute. Next up, this adorable little tank top from Free People. I think this is also We the Free. Yep. This feels like a lightweight knit. This feels a little bit like a light sweater. And then it's got this semi-sheer panel here on the sides. I love this style. I like this color. Something like this, again, a very like casual basic, something I'll probably see $18 to $25 on. And I've no doubt that this will sell quickly. This is exactly the kind of thing from Free People, from We the Free, that moves fast, and exactly the time of year that it moves the fastest. So, and it's a size large, if memory serves me right. Yeah, size large. Next up, now this is a sweater. I know, but it's alpaca. So I picked this up because it felt really nice. It's this like dark gray melange, and there's no tag in here, but it had this really interesting kind of Inca-esque woven pattern down here on the sides. And then it had this little tag on it. So I did a Google image search for this tag, and as it turns out, the brand is called Paca. That's P-A-K-A. And this is done with a partnership with artisans down in Peru that hand make all of these sweaters. So everything they do is, I believe, alpaca based. Like this is an alpaca blend. It feels like a dream. Like this does not feel scratchy at all. Like this is a nice warm sweater that doesn't feel like I would need to wear like a t-shirt under it, which for the girl with the most sensitive skin in the world is a rare thing. This style in and of itself is discontinued, and sold comps on this sweater are between like $80 and $125. So definitely a label to keep your eyes out for. I don't know how common it is. I've never seen it before. I'd never heard of it before, but commit that to memory, guys. Again, this is something I pulled out of the bin just because it felt so nice. And sure enough, it paid off. I mean, guys, this day, I mean, and you haven't even seen the best of it yet. Like the best is yet to come. Next up, this is from Paul Smith. Now, Paul Smith, I don't see a ton of, and I always confuse Paul Smith with Paul Frank. Paul Frank is generally something, unless it's like definitively vintage, like vintage Paul Frank stuff from the 90s, I'll grab. But Paul Smith is a different beast. Very, very expensive brand. That is the logo there. This is like a lightweight cotton with this all over embroidery. I don't know how much detail you're seeing on that, but it's beautiful. This retailed either like $395 or $695. They have these other embroidered shirts that have a little bit more colorful embroidery. They were definitely $600 some odd new. On the resale market, I'll probably see somewhere between $50 and $100 on this. And I have no doubt that it'll go fairly quickly. It's a 2XL, so it's a great size. Like, this is like a vacation dream because it's got that kind of darker color, which is a little bit more friendly and flattering, but it still has that like detail, that rich detail, and the lightweight cotton. Like the cotton you can kind of see is semi-sheer, right? Gorgeous. Next up, for everybody to live their grandma fantasy, this little chenille bed jacket. So, okay, when I talk about a chenille robe, this is what I'm talking about, right? The chenille with this kind of embroidery. If you can find a long chenille robe that's vintage, they sell for a pretty penny. Like there is this, I have wanted it since I saw it on the TV show The Nanny back in whatever it was, like 1993. She had this chenille robe that had like a moon and stars on the back of it. If anybody sees one, drop the link, please. But this is what's called a bed jacket. So it's like a short little half robe. It's got a single button on it. It's this, again, beautiful celery color. This is something that I will label both as like a robe and as like a cardigan, because like I know people who would wear something like this as like a regular cardigan, not as a robe around the house. It's super adorable. It's in great condition. It's a size medium. I'll probably see somewhere $30 to $35 on this. But to be clear, if you can find like a vintage chenille robe that's got like really ornate designs, you're looking at several $100s there, especially if it's in great condition. So always check, always check the sleepwear section of your thrift store. Next up here, now this is a fun one. This is from a brand called Lucy in the Sky. Now Lucy in the Sky, if you watched my haul last week, we talked about Lioness, and that sold super quickly. And this is a brand that's very much in the same vein. Not particularly super expensive, but something that's very in demand. It's been heavily sent out to influencers, so, you know, kind of famous people are wearing this on the internet. And basically what this is, and I think that this was part of a two-piece set, this is like a maxi skirt with a super high slit in it. Obviously all sequined. You can probably see where that slit is, like right here. It's got this like attached bloomer situation, so it's not like, you know, everything's hanging out. You're still covered, but super cute. This is definitely something you wear out to like a club or even like a pool club, something like that. Lucy in the Sky, again, not a particularly expensive brand, but a pretty in-demand brand, so it's gonna sell for a pretty high percentage of retail. Like I wanna say that this whole set, and it was like a long sleeve crop top, I wanna say that the whole set sold for like $100, and on the resale market, the set is selling for like $60 to $80. This I'll probably get like 30 to 40 on. And again, not a particularly expensive brand to start with. It's just like highly in demand. So I'll always try to keep you abreast of these brands as they pop up. But next up, I saw some like marigold silk, and I'm in, and then I saw that it was Oscar de la Renta. Now this is Oscar de la Renta Expressions, and I could not for the life of me find what this was. I'm sure that this was some kind of like a diffusion brand, or maybe like their sportswear label at the time. I don't think it would be the equivalent of what like O by Oscar de la Renta would be. This is obviously higher market. It's really beautifully made, but it's 100% silk. The thing I love about this is that it's kind of like a baseball style shirt. Like if you look at that neckline and that kind of thick placket, like that's definitely done in the style of a baseball shirt. And I just think that there's a lot of ways that I can play with that in terms of keywords. You know, it's menswear inspired. It's got a little bit of that. It's sportswear inspired. It's still designer. It's still luxury. It's 100% silk. This color is so unusual and beautiful. It's like a pumpkin-y marigold. So I don't know what I'll get for this. I need to do a little bit more research and see if I can find more about what Oscar de la Renta Expressions were. If any of you know, let me know. But just beautiful and in great condition. Obviously, I'm gonna guess this is probably vintage from about the 90s. Next up, another silk piece, guys. The silk, like the materials this day were like unbelievable. So this I found, it's a little like slip skirt about knee length, and the hem is like a very delicately beaded trim. I don't know if you can see the bead, like, and I didn't even see the beads until later when I was like looking closely at it. This is from a brand called Burns. I'm not super familiar with it. There's not a ton out there on it, but this is 100% silk, and a silk leopard print slip skirt is always going to be in style. It's a size 2, which I'm gonna guess is a size medium. And this is definitely not a size 2. So I'll probably see somewhere 30 to 40 on this. Very, very cute. I think that this is probably 90s vintage as well. The vintage was insane this week. The fabrics were insane this week. The designers were insane this week. Like, just... Next up, this is from Rails, super cute. Now Rails is one of those brands I have slowed up on picking up. This is a cute little linen blend star print shirt. Now Rails a couple years ago was very, very hot, definitely like a bolo, but it has slowed down quite a bit. The main reason I picked this up is because it is a linen blend, and I love these stars. They're kind of like tie-dyed stars. And on the resale market, this particular shirt looks like it has sold comps in like the $30 to $35 range. Rails is super expensive. This was probably $200 new, like very, very, very spendy. So just one of those brands that doesn't quite resell at the level of its retail price, and I don't think that it holds up as nicely as something like an Eileen Fisher that's generally kind of sold in the same price range. In general, like Eileen Fisher stuff is usually like very nice linen, very nice silk, very nice wool, very nice cotton. The whole thing about Eileen Fisher is not only is the style classic, but it's made really well. It's made of like top-notch fabrics that last, you know, like they're made to last through many, many, many launderings. And I don't feel that the Rails pieces have that same level of quality. So just kind of my 2 cents on that, but still lovely. I still love their pieces. This is more for like style and comfort than longevity. So they'll do kind of blends with rayon to give it that softer feel, right? Stuff like that versus like a pure linen. Next up, another men's piece that I don't see all that often. This is Ted Baker. This is like a nice button-down shirt. This is from Ted Baker Endurance, so I'm not quite sure what that means. It's this nice like heavyweight cotton, no stretch to it. It's got this little pattern on it. And the thing about Ted Baker is like Ted Baker stuff is like overbuilt, right? Like it's made too nice for its own good. It's very, very expensive, and it doesn't resell like quite in line with its retail price, but a lot of the pieces do resell pretty well. Like look at the way this is the inside placket, like where the buttons sit. Like look at how that's finished. It's beautiful. The size on this is a 1534/35. I don't really know how standard that size is. I don't deal a whole lot with menswear. I'll probably see somewhere around 30, maybe $40 on this. And truly, like that stuff is overbuilt. Moving right along. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is a little nursing shawl. You guys have seen quite a bit of this from me in the last couple weeks. Listen, I love Quince. I absolutely adore Quince, but all of their stuff is a dupe for like a high-end designer, right? Like they got started duping Jenny Kane sweaters, right? Like that was like the first thing that they did. And I think that this is what they were duping with their shawls, because it was like identical to this, right? So this is like a gray, like heather blend, exact same construction, exact same shape. But this one is from Amma. We Are Amma. I think that this is what Quince was duping. But here's the thing, the Quince ones retail for like, I want to say it was like 40 bucks. It was like $39. These retail for $100. And to be totally honest, I think that the Quince ones were made of nicer material. Now, those were cotton with a little bit of cashmere in it. This is like a rayon blend. So it's got a nice drape to it. It feels great. It feels like cotton, but it is not. So that being said, resale comps on this are about $40 to $50. So either way, like keep your eyes out for these. Both of the Quince ones that I found sold the day after I listed them. So, and this one I have no doubt will sell just as quickly. So great find. All right, next up. Now this was kind of a fun thing. So I felt this, I'm like, definitely silk. Saw the tag and it's Skims. I've never seen a Skims tag. It's that kind of like debossed looking tag. It's always tonal. So here's the funny thing, right? Like you look at this and it's kind of like a tie-dyed blue pink. And when I got it home, I'm searching for it and this doesn't exist. So I think that this might have actually gotten like stained in the washer. Like it probably went in the wash with something that was red. I honestly kind of think it's pretty, but I don't, maybe I can sell it as is. I don't know. Either way, it's size medium. And if it was in perfect condition, these resell. This is from like the Romance collection. I think that's what it's called. And it had like 2 pieces. It had this top and like a matching bottom, but the top alone would resell for like $30 to $40. They're like a little wisp of nothing. Again, it is silk, but I don't know, I'll have to see. Maybe I just list it and disclose it. Like, I should have thought better of it because Skims doesn't really sell anything. You can kind of see the color there a little bit. Skims doesn't really sell anything that's like not solid color. So, I mean, maybe it's a special edition. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, I'll have to do a little bit more research. If not, I'll donate this back. But I think it's kind of pretty. I mean, it actually does not look great on the camera, but in person, I think it looks really like ethereal. I like the two colors. Next up, this is another great find. This is from Amour Vert, which is unfortunately no longer around. They just closed up all the shops around. And their whole thing was sustainable fashion. And this is like brand new with tags. This is called the Alex blazer. So it's like a boyfriend blazer cut. This is retailed, I want to say close to $400. I think it was like $398. So on the resale market, these are reselling right around $100 to $150. So an exciting find indeed. I mean, truly, like this day. So yeah, very, very, I have no doubt that'll go pretty quick. Like a good boxy boyfriend blazer is always in style. Next up, we've got this pair of pants. These is from Scotch and Soda. Now Scotch and Soda menswear does pretty well for me. These are called, I think, the Mott trousers. Scotch and Soda is based out of Amsterdam, and they're kind of like shockingly expensive, but these are just cotton chinos. I have a friend that loves Scotch and Soda, so I might see if they want this before I sell it. I think this is about their size, so I'll double check. But if not, these will probably go somewhere between like $30 and $50. Really beautifully made. So if you're in the market for these kind of basics, check out their stuff because you can get a good deal on it. I want to say that these retail like $180. Like every time I went into the store, we had one back at the big mall in Salt Lake. I remember going in there and like having sticker shock at some of the prices. So a brand to be on the lookout for sure. Definitely check comps, especially if you're finding something that's like not super significant, but otherwise it's a great brand. Next up, this is a sweater from Wooden Ships. Now Wooden Ships is one of those weird little brands that I've found quite a bit of, and it's very, very collectible. Now, most of the things that I found are these kind of like motif sweaters. So it'll be like, you know, a pink sweater with hearts on it. And a lot of them are like themed to holidays. But I have sold a lot of Wooden Ships and people really, really love it. They're usually, I think it's like a mohair blend. Yeah, acrylic mohair and wool. And it's this kind of, I love this color story. This like kind of dark teal with like an olive green and a forest green. This feels very fall, so this might sit until fall. Size medium, large, open front, kind of oversized cardigan here. So it's got these like exaggerated dolman sleeves. So this will just kind of like slouch down, and this will probably hit right about here on the arm. Really cute, great condition, nice fuzzy, cozy sweater. Certain ones of the like novelty motif sweaters can go into like the $50, $60, $70 range. Something like this I'll probably see somewhere between $30 and $40. They retail, I want to say like $150 to $200. They're pretty expensive, but definitely a label to be on the lookout for if you're unfamiliar with it. That's the label. And then like the size and the information is on the back there. Let me know if you've ever found Wooden Ships. How did it do for you? Like, did you find one of those novelty sweaters and sell it for $100? I want to know. All right, next up, this is a little vintage sweater, which I love. This is straight out of like the early 90s, late 80s. This is just kind of like a interesting stripe knit sweater. I feel like anybody who was around in that era like remembers sweaters like this. It's from Pacific Bay. It's made in the US. Classic little sweater. It is a size large. And something like this I will see probably $25 on. I find a lot of these pieces, they generally sell very, very quickly. Usually on Depop, more commonly these days over on eBay, which is interesting, but these kind of things I will pick up anytime I see them in the bins. I find them somewhat frequently, and I always like to grab them because I know that there is a pretty like solid market for stuff like this. And again, there's no place you can just like walk into and buy it, right? Like, you know, you have to have it available secondhand somewhere accessible, so, and in great condition. Two more pieces and then the grand finale. This one here is a Barefoot Dreams cardigan. Now, Barefoot Dreams, if this was like the height of the Panzerotti, we won't say the word, this would have gone for like $100. These things went so fast, but it's Barefoot Dreams, and this is their Cozy Chic Light fabric. And guys, if you've never gotten your hands on this, like, it is so unbelievably soft. You just kind of don't believe it until you get your hands on it. They still sell for me generally between like $35 and $45. So I still pick them up, especially if I find them in the bins. Just one thing to note, if you are buying this at a bins location that pays by the pound, they are quite heavy. Like this fabric is weighty. So you're gonna pay up for it. Like if you're at some place that has $3.99 a pound, you're probably gonna be paying like $7, $8 for this. Either way, large to extra large and in great condition. One of the things you do want to check if you see these, like if it doesn't feel dreamy soft, like don't pick it up, because people wash them improperly and they'll kind of mat up. So anyway, I would just keep an eye on condition and like don't pick it up if it's been kind of worked in the wash. So a good find. I'm sorry, I had a few more hiding underneath. This one is just for me. This is a splendid dress. I love these kind of jersey style dresses for the summer, just kind of bopping around the house. It's got like a kind of like a cottony front, and then the back is like a rib knit. You can tell that it used to have a belt, but I probably wouldn't have worn this belted. It's maxi length. It's got slits front and back, so just something easy breezy. If I were to sell this, this would be like 25 to 30 bucks, but again, this is just gonna be a bopping around the house dress for me. I live in these kind of dresses in the summer, especially those super hot days when I don't want like anything touching me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know, you know. Oh, this one. Okay, so this one I've yet to be able to find any branding on, but the reason I picked it up is it's made so wildly nicely that I think that this is designer of some sort. So I'm just gonna do some research. It's like worth, you know, it was worth the money invested just to get it. So it's just like a black mesh t-shirt, kind of oversized, but the finishing on it is so nice. So it's got these nice kind of like thick sleeve cuffs. Same thing on the bottom. The thing that really struck me is the way that they finished the inside. Like these seams are entirely closed. Like you don't see a raw edge anywhere on this garment, which is generally a sign of like high quality. It's like, it's just a very expensive finishing piece, when typically even like nicer things, like even higher end pieces will just have like an overlock stitch just to kind of like seal it off, but you'll still see those kind of raw edges underneath the overlock. Like this is completely like seamed and then seamed, right? So you can't even see them. So I'll do a little bit more research on this. This feels like something out of like Berlin, right? Like feels like something you'll see somebody walking into Berghain wearing. So we'll find out. TBD. It feels so nice. One more and then our big finale. So this I picked up because this embellishment was unbelievable. So again, 100% silk. So that's like a tank dress, about midi length. Again, silk, silk, silk. Look at this embellishment though. We're gonna do a little ASMR with this. Can you hear that? So like all of these sequins that you're seeing are metal. Like that's metal. And then all of this work is all bugle beads. And then this stuff right here, this is metal work. And if you're unfamiliar with what metal work is, this is like a form of embroidery where they have this like really tiny, tiny, tiny metal coil that they will cut in like specific lengths. But you can kind of see these pieces right here, like that is like metal coil. And then they fashion them into these designs. Like the work on this is unbelievable. And the designer on this is Nougat London, which I think was just like a higher end designer out of London. This probably retailed like $500 or $600. Like, isn't that beautiful? And also like, look at how the bodice comes together. Like the scallop seam there at the waist. Like it's so beautiful. This is just so beautiful. So I don't know what I'm gonna get for this. This is definitely like late Y2K vintage, I believe. So we'll see, but I know I would wear this tomorrow if this was my size. It is not my size, but I would wear this tomorrow because I just think that this is so beautiful and this is so my flavor. Like also like this here, chain, like that is, can you see that? That is actual metal chain. Like this kind of craftsmanship is unreal, unbelievable. All right, so are you ready for this like grand finale? I've teased it enough, but I promise you it'll be worth it. So let me set the scene. It's early in the morning, and typically when they open my bins location, they will have put out a new row of bins. So like you kind of go straight to that new row, see what's in there. And once I kind of did my search through, I went to like one of the bins that had been left over from the night before. And I see this jacket in there, right? It's beautiful, it's wool, you can definitely tell that it's wool. There's no brand tag in it, but the lining is silk and it's, you know, you can just tell that the quality is great. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I will grab this. So I picked it up and I'm looking at like the materials tag and it says made in France, which is like unusual. It's incredibly expensive to manufacture anything in France. So I'm like, okay, you know, no matter what, like it's Chanel-esque, like I'll take it. You know, I can sell it for 100 or 200 bucks, right? So I pick it up and it's got these beautiful sleeves and I put it into my bag and I realize that the skirt is there just underneath. Again, No brand label, nothing, but same deal, like lined in silk. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So what I don't look at is the buttons. And when I get it back to my cart, I see the buttons. So I don't know why the label would have been removed. I'm assuming that this was just scratchy. This was not worn with anything under it. So this is Chanel. This is runway 2022. And I will put a picture of it walking the runway right here. And I will also put a picture of the last one that sold right here with the sold price. And that's just for the jacket. So obviously I'm gonna have to go through the authentication process and all of that. But like, look, like that is all individually attached ostrich feathers. Like the workmanship on this is unbelievable. Again, I mean, this was sitting on top. This was like just kind of sitting there in a bin that had been left overnight together. Like nobody took this. And it's in fantastic condition. Now the sizes are, the top is I think a size 8 equivalent, and then the bottom is a size 10. So I don't know, like I gotta look into how I move something like this. Like obviously I wanna make sure that I'm protected, and I wanna make sure that the person who buys it feels secure in purchasing, whether I sell this through something like a RealReal, or obviously this would be authenticated by eBay, or if I contact something like a Sotheby's, because this was a runway piece, so I know that they do sell stuff like this. I just don't know if they deal with like Joe Schmoes like me, but like, and I mean, like, to be perfectly honest, I think that this is ugly as sin. Like, I was talking to my mom and I told her about it, and I'm just like, oh my God, but I think that these are so ugly. I am just like, I am not a Chanel girl. That is not my style. Like, it is just too over the top, frilly, like stuff. This looks stuffy to me. But yeah, $14,000 for just the jacket. Like, that's insane. That is an absolute insane amount of money and an insane thing to find. So I don't know what effect not having the brand label, because like everything else is there, everything else kind of checks out. I wish you could see like the detail on these buttons. Like I've never seen anything like, the detail on these buttons is unbelievable. I mean, if you look closely at just like the setting for the rhinestones there, they're all like bezel set. Like the buttons themselves are expensive. If you remember back a few weeks, I found a Christian Dior skirt and I got it home, and like all the things about it were, you know, like it just told me it wasn't quality. Like the lining was polyester, and like this is a perfect example of like, this is what high-end designers, this is what like a Christian Dior would do. So first of all, this is like a custom jacquard silk, like just light as a feather. Like, do you see how there's like a gold chain stitched on the inside here? Like, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about these like legacy couture designers, when I talk about the quality with which they will put something out. Like, they will never have an overlock stitch anywhere visible in any of their garments, right? Like everything will be finished by hand, by the finest craftsmen, etc., etc. So this is like a perfect juxtaposition to what that skirt was and what you're looking for in terms of quality. Like, just again, when you're looking at something and you're wondering if it's real, one of the biggest tells is always going to be look at the inside, because the outside can be faked. And indeed, if you're looking at like counterfeiters, they're going to put all the attention in making the outside look right. They're not going to take the time and care to make sure that the inside is finished as nicely as the outside. And this is a perfect example. Like, yeah, like you can see, if you look at that custom jacquard, I don't know if you can see like any of the definition, like it's custom woven for Chanel. You can see the 2 C's like right here. But yeah, like the attention to detail is so outrageous. And that's how the day started. This was like the second thing I picked up. So that was my day at the bins. It was unbelievable. That was the best day I've ever had. So I totaled everything up here, and retail value on all of this stuff is about $26,000. It's okay. Even without the Chanel suit, we've got about $9,000 worth of goods here. And in terms of resale value, I think, now I don't know what I'm gonna get for this, so I'm kind of guesstimating on the low end just based on what that real price was. I'm gonna guess that I've got sales here somewhere between like $4,000 and $6,000, which is unbelievable. I think I spent $80 that day at the bins. So That's a pretty incredible day. We're cool. We're totally cool. So that is it, guys. That is the haul for today. I hope you guys had fun. If you did, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you want to be notified anytime I post a new video, click the little notification bell. Obviously, if you have any kind of content you would like to see me do, don't ever hesitate to put that down in the comments down below. I do keep an eye on them. I do keep a little list of them. But guys, thank you again for hanging with me while I go through these hauls and nerding out with me and like taking this ride with me. I still like cannot even believe that is sitting right next to me. Like that needs to be hermetically sealed and maybe not in my house. You know what I'm saying? But guys, without further ado, I hope you all have the most beautiful week. I am wishing you Chanel finds while you are outsourcing this week. Happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.